In a world that's constantly changing, the only sustainable competitive advantage is your ability to learn and adapt. Peter Drucker. My name is Francisco Milo Castillo Grande, and I'm a Mexican business consultant with expertise on the international area, like the company Castillo & Co. That's what I work for. The relationship between Mexican demographics and purchasing power. Things change year after year. With it, the mentality and economy of people, some for the better and many others for the worse. Along with this, there is a growing trend for Asian jewelry, since they offer quality with a price more accessible to the middle class. How the Mexican political system can help or undermine their endeavor. There are trade agreements through which there is a certain entry into the importation of goods and services into the national territory. How it will play out within the Mexican economic system? The Mexican political system can be a double-edged sword. Free trade agreements and focus on tourism can benefit importers, but bureaucracy, protectionist policies, and instability can create hurdles. Business should stay informed about trade policies and partner with experienced companies and target tourist areas. How to use the Mexican legal system and relevant government regulations to their favor? We have to pay attention to the permits, tariffs, and regulations that our product may have in order to offer a lower price and make the import cheaper and cheaper. How do foreign direct investments work in Mexico, and if there are any fiscal incentives they can take advantage of? The way in which foreign investment in Mexico involves the transfer of capital by economic entities from one country, individuals, companies, and governments to another country with the objective of establishing companies of subsidiaries, there as well as acquiring or obtaining a relevant participation in foreign companies. How is the Mexican peso doing? The Mexican peso is currently performing well, as you can see, comparing it to the dollar, showing appreciation compared to the US dollar over the past year. However, some uncertainties remain regarding the future, influenced by global economic conditions and domestic political developments. How to comply with relevant fiscal or environmental regulations that apply to that specific industry. Selling Asian gems and jewelry in Mexico requires regulations. Some of the fiscal are research, import duties, permits, and consumer protection laws. For the environmental, understand packaging and waste regulations, relevant trade policy, free trade agreements, North American Free Trade Agreement, USMCA, European Union Free Trade Agreement. Tariffs. Mexico uses a tiered tariff system, so the tariff rate for your product will depend on its specific classification. Import quotas. Mexico rarely uses import quotas to restrict trade. My recommendations. What adjustments should be made to enter the Mexican market? First, understanding the market. Research Mexico's diverse regions and tailor your approach accordingly. Analyze your competitors to understand their strategies and customer preferences. Legal and regulatory. Choose your business structure and research and acquire necessary permits and licenses for your industry. Product and pricing and marketing and sales. When should they start doing it? I have a phrase for this. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. As soon as possible, since the longer the change takes, the fewer positive results there will be. Should they enter the national market directly or by regional markets instead? You must first enter through regional markets and this measure the success you have, and then expand nationally so that process is safer. Why? All this depends on the resources and strategy that the company has contemplated. Although our recommendation will always help, and this time we believe that the best thing is to first enter the regional market. What should we do among licensing, franchising, joint ventures, etc.? Preferably a joint venture. It is the fastest way to enter the Mexican market, apart from the fact that at the beginning it does not all depend on you, since you are in conjunction with another company that may or may not benefit from us doing well. Are there any acquisitions or strategic alliances to be made? We do not consider acquisitions, but what does benefit us are alliances with already established companies with previous experience in the market. The alliances that are made will have to be established in the territory and be from the same commercial branch as us, such as department stores or retail jewelry stores. Conclusions. Mexico is such a big country, and more than a country is an opportunity to succeed when it comes to a foreign company. When carrying out this research on certain factors such as the economy, work culture, and how the system can either benefit us or destroy us. But only one thing is clear: not everything depends on us. The results, since something can always happen, but there is always something to do to prevent certain scenarios. And thanks to this, we can know some ways to do all this more safely. This is my second case. This is for a Mexican company trying to enter the Guatemalan market. The relationship between Mexican demographics and purchasing power. Guatemala is experiencing rapid urbanization with a growing concentration of population in major cities. There is also a growing trend, not only in Guatemala, a tendency for people to go and take care of themselves by doing a physical activity such as going to train at the gym. It's favorable for the Mexican company? It is, since the economic power in Guatemala is increasingly higher, and apart from that, the need to take care of your body is increasing. How their political system can help or undermine your client? A government focused on economic development could create a boom in disposable income, fueling potential gym memberships. Additionally, infrastructure investment, particularly in urban areas could make accessing to your gyms more convenient. Stable politics and security for also faster consumer confidence, making Guatemala a more attractive market for expansion. How the whole project will play out within the economic system of the targeted country? We can have job creation, entrepreneurial opportunities, like your gyms may inspire the creation of completely complementary business like healthy food stores or fitness apparel shops, and increase disposable income. How to use their legal system and relevant government regulations to your client's favor? We have to pay attention to the primary tariff and regulations, like our last case. How do foreign direct investments work in that country, and if there are any fiscal incentives for your client? First, we have the fiscal incentives: reduced tax rates, grants and subsidies, and simplified tax regimes. There are some things to consider, like registration or investment protection. How is the local currency doing? The quetzal currency performing well, showing appreciation compared to the Mexican peso over the past year. How to comply with relevant fiscal and environment regulations? We have the fiscal regulations, as you can see, and environment regulations. Relevant trade policies between Mexico and Guatemala. Free trade agreements, we have Mexico-Central America Free Trade Agreement, and tariffs due to the MCA or Mexico-Central America Free Trade Agreement. Most goods between Mexico and Guatemala face little to no tariffs. Import quotas and subsidies, neither country generally uses export subsidies or import quotas against the other. My recommendations: should your Mexican client enter the market in the targeted country, yes or no? By analyzing these factors again, we can realize that yes, entering the gym market in Guatemala can help us grow, and there are more positive points than negative ones, and some risks that may exist when entering a new country. Among sporting licensing, franchising, joint ventures, and wholly owned subsidiaries, which enter is the best option? Franchises, since the brand and the way in which we do things will be what will stand out the most about us as a business and gym chain, since we offer a service that everyone can access. Are there any acquisition or strategic alliances to be made? An acquisition of a service chain could be considered in a favorable but already established situation, and in this way facilitate certain logistics and costs. The alliances that can be made will be in the branch of products that are used to make it possible to provide a good service, such as exercise equipment. Conclusions: Guatemala, being a neighboring country to Mexico, has certain characteristics that make it easier for us as a work team, and mainly for me as an agent, to have decide whether to enter this new country or not, since there is always that uncertainty of what can happen. If what happens will be positive or just a waste of time. But that is part of life, and we believe that Guatemala is a beautiful and a prosperous place for the people, and especially for our market segment such as the gym chains. Thank you.